This is the overview of the genes for sweet taste perception. So there's two gene segments we're going to look at in regards to sweetness. One is your perception of the sweet flavor, and the other is the genetic impulse to have more or less sugar. So there's perception and then there's consumption. So we're just going to talk about the sweet taste perception at the moment. This is about whether or not it's very similar to bitter, in that for people who are green dots in bitter, that they are already sensitive to the flavor of bitter, so they don't like more bitter foods. And the same thing for sweetness. If you're a green dot in sweet taste perception, that means you're a sweet disliker, that the green is like you naturally avoid sugar more than the average person because it just tastes too sweet. Yellow dots, they are a moderate sweet liker, and then red dot people are very high sweet liker, that they have a very low perception of the taste of sweetness, so they add more of the taste, more things that add sweetness to things in order for them to taste that flavor. So when we have, now at this point I'm just kind of speculating on the evolutionary benefit of sweet taste perception. And I know with bitter, it was, the more you avoid bitter, the more you're going to avoid poisonous plants. But the trade-off is you're going to avoid bitter yet nutritious vegetables. So there's a trade-off. If you really like the taste of bitter foods, you're going to have more nutritious, more bitter vegetables, but you're also at the risk of eating poisonous bitter plant matter, especially as a hunter-gatherer. So with sweetness, I speculate that it's a similar thing, but for different reasons. Not that people who crave the sweetness of sugar more, they want the flavor of that more, they will naturally seek out and sneak in more calories. And as hunter-gatherers, sugar and sweetness was very rare to come by through the course of an annual year. So as a hunter-gatherer, the things that were sweet were, the very rare honeycomb and fruit whenever it was in season for a couple days or weeks out of the year, maybe a couple times out of the year, and that's it. There's very few places in the world where fruit is available all year round, or nearly all year round, I should say. And if you just crave the sweetness of sugar, if you just crave sugar more, you're going to forage a little extra hard and a little and be, all these kind of subtle things of like taking an extra little half scoop of this. I mean, I'm assuming they calorie, but I'm kind of mixing my anthropological metaphors here, so forgive me. They'll be like taking a few extra berries or an extra apple or something, and that in hunter-gatherer times when feast and famine were a very real issue, particularly the famine bit, I speculate that craving more sugar made you an extra strong forager. So, and that may sound very poetic or far-fetched or whatever, but really, like, look at how people respond to sugar. Like, people will drive to, so like, even right now, the grocery store chain that I most frequently go to, like today is Mother's Day, and they're offering to hand out a free 70% all organic chocolate bar for anyone who goes today. And I seriously consider, it's like, wow, that's a free chocolate bar. And I just was starting to plan my whole day around well, what time could I actually go there and claim that free chocolate bar? This is nutty, to go and drive just to go get a chocolate bar. But you can see that impulse is there even today. And even when calories and sugar are abundant, the mind will drift towards, oh, there's extra sugar over there, let's go. So, and just full disclosure, I'm a yellow dot in sweet taste perception. So I do like sweeter tasting food. And I have to be very mindful of that because sugar for me particularly is someone who's very low on my carb tolerance, that can backfire quite badly on my physiology and on my mood and on my energy. So the overview of free taste perception is that you're just genetically hardwired to like or dislike the flavor of sweetness. Now, as is with the other genetic variables in how you behave around food, the real answer is control your environment, not your willpower. And you'll hear me say this probably several times more throughout all these recordings. But the best possible thing to do is to control your environment, not your willpower. And because we have so many things sapping our willpower, taking away, there's great articles on what's called decision fatigue, where you have only so many decisions that you can make. For me, I'm on the spectrum. I have Asperger's, and there's a phrase of within that community of like, how many spoons do you have? And I'm not making this up. This is like, it's I don't know how it came to be, this spoon thing, but it's like, I only have like 20 spoons available for the day, and deciding or doing this thing is going to cost me 5 spoons or 3 spoons or this. And I know it seems like very weird, vague culinary calculus here, but it's a helpful thing. If you meet someone on the spectrum, it's like, hey, are you out of? And they're like more focused on recovery and they need alone time, and then it's like, hey, are you out of spoons? And they'll, like, if they're in the know, like, yeah, I'm out of spoons. And so that's code for I can't really make any decisions or make many big interactions. And so when someone is out of spoons, when someone has made too many decisions, when someone is tired, you wake up when you had a bad night of sleep, you have fewer points, fewer spoons to spend. Then your baser survival instincts take over, and that includes craving sugar. And because sugar is that quick hit to kind of give this boost to your system that to give you some energy in order to do more things. Even though it's a trade-off, like it's caught in general, eating more sugar is bad for you, no matter how much fault. It's like caffeine. Caffeine may boost you up, but it's going to cost you. So the genetic craving of sugar is also should not be used as an excuse. That I'm just genetically helpless in the face of sugar. Nom 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 nom. No, let's not do that. That means that if I'm a yellow dot, and I can walk around and wave the genetic victim flag. It says I was just born this way, and I just need to crave more. I have more sugar because I'm helpless. No, you're not. Genes are you have propensities, but you have epigenetics, and you can, with proper lifestyle, you can alter the expression of certain genes with certain lifestyle changes. And sometimes those lifestyle changes are methods of containment, of controlling your environment, not your willpower. And I have several recommendations that we're going to go over to help you manage sugar consumption if you're really craving it. So let me go in the next video. We're going to cover the actual strategies that can apply to anyone that's craving extra sweetness.